joining us. My name is Ken Levinson. I'm the Executive Director of WTO. Thrilled to have so many of you here today. I know a lot of people in the trade community are a bit distracted right now by some other things going on the trade front, but at WTO we also try to have in addition to discussing some of the current events, we recently had an event on China, and I suspect we may be having another one of those again soon. We also, back in the fall of 2016, before the elections, we launched an initiative called Next Gen Trade, where we try to look towards the future of trade. And I guess I can say now in the discussion we're having today on digital trade and e-commerce, the future is now. I was in an interesting meeting yesterday, and somebody made the comment that digital is embedded in everything that is traded in the world today. Sort of in a way, the way energy costs are embedded in everything that is traded. Today we're going to be looking at the WTO eCommerce initiative, and we have it's a terrific two-panel setup. We're going to be, first panel will be joining us in just a moment, but we're going to be welcomed first by Elisabeth Bose, Minister Counselor for Trade for the Embassy of Australia. She'll be Australia is the co-chair or chair of the talks, a co-convener with Japan and Singapore. So she'll make some opening remarks. Then we'll have our two panels. Remind you about some upcoming WTO events, information in your packets. In June, we are going to be welcoming Senators Chris Coons and James Lankford, as well as Chairman Earl Blumenauer. So we have a couple big events with members of Congress coming up in June. And of course, WTO's annual dinner on July 17th. We hope to see all of you there. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Elisabeth Bose, Minister Counselor for Trade with the Government of Australia. Thank you, Elisabeth.
Thank you very much, Ken, and it's always a delight to be here at WTO. I attend a lot of WTO events and have occasionally spoken, and it's been one of the highlights of my posting here, which is sadly almost coming to an end. But thank you very much, Ken, and to WTO for putting on this event today. And we, in particular, as the chair of these negotiations, are really looking forward to hearing what the panelists have to say, presenting the private sector and industry perspective about what they would like to see included as part of the e-commerce outcome in Geneva. But before we do hear from them, I thought I would just take a few moments to introduce the WTO eCommerce initiative and give you a little update on where the negotiations are at. So as I'm sure all of you are aware, at the 11th WTO Ministerial Conference in Buenos Aires in December 2017, Australia, together with Japan and Singapore, led a group of 70 WTO members, including the United States, about which we were very happy, in signing a joint statement which committed signatories to work toward future negotiations on electronic commerce. The participants to that statement engaged extensively throughout last year, 2018, culminating in a commitment made at Davos in January this year by an expanded group of 76 WTO members to launch negotiations this year on the initiative. Now that group of signatories, which accounts for more than 75% of global trade, will work to update international trade rules on e-commerce to keep pace with technological change. Australia is proud to chair the negotiations with the support of our co-conveners, Japan and Singapore, as Ken mentioned. The e-commerce negotiations are open to all WTO members. Any trade-related e-commerce issue raised by WTO members will be on the table at the outset. By way of update, on 6th of March, a call was made for text-based proposals on trade-related e-commerce issues. In response, we have now received a good tranche of papers with text proposals covering a broad range of e-commerce issues. Now, it is important to note that the process is member-driven. All trade-related issues raised by members will be on the table and will be discussed. The focus will be on the content of the issues first. No decisions have been made on legal framework issues. And the first set of discussions on these issues will take place next week in Geneva. Now, we are mindful of the opportunity that these negotiations present, in particular to provide the possibility to update international trade rules to reflect how modern business operates in the digital era. These negotiations also present the opportunity to demonstrate the importance and relevance of the multilateral trading system in the 21st century. And speaking on behalf of the Government of Australia, the upholding of the rules-based trading system is one of our highest priorities, and we believe this is one very good future-looking way of ensuring that that organisation remains relevant. Now, I note we are only just starting these negotiations. It is therefore premature to discuss deadlines. However, as Chair, we are keen to continue to take advantage of the strong sense of momentum in the initiative and to move forward. However, like many WTO negotiations, we do anticipate it will take some time for such a large group to reach agreement. We note that some participating countries have not been party to TPP, CPTPP, USMCA, G20 or APEC discussions in which e-commerce issues have been extensively discussed or indeed disciplines agreed. We expect, therefore, that there will be a significant role for education and advocacy by the private sector, as well as governments, including participants in today's discussion, as well as from other stakeholders as the negotiations move forward. So we are looking forward to continuing to discuss digital trade in 2019, and we do hope that today's event will be the first of a number of discussions on digital trade as the negotiations progress. Thank you very much.